Question 1. What year did the Battle of Bosworth Field occur, marking the end of the Wars of the Roses? A. 1455. B. 1485. C. 1501. D. 1515. Answer: B. 1485. The Battle of Bosworth Field occurred in 1485, marking the end of the Wars of the Roses between the houses of Lancaster and York. Question 2. Who was the first Prime Minister of Great Britain? A. Winston Churchill. B. William Pitt the Elder. C. Robert Walpole. D. Benjamin Disraeli. Answer: C. Robert Walpole. Robert Walpole is generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, serving from 1721 to 1742. Question 3. What is the significance of the Reform Act 1832 in British history? A. It abolished the slave trade. B. It extended the vote to working-class males. C. It expanded the electorate and addressed representation. D. It separated church from state. Answer: C. It expanded the electorate and addressed representation. The Reform Act 1832 was significant for expanding the electorate by reforming the electoral system, which addressed widespread civil dissatisfaction and set the stage for further democratic reforms. Question 4. Who was the British monarch during the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. Queen Elizabeth I. Answer: B. King George III. King George III was the monarch during the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland in 1801, following the union of Great Britain and Ireland. Question 5. What historical event is Guy Fawkes' Night associated with? A. The restoration of the monarchy. B. The signing of the Magna Carta. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The Glorious Revolution. Answer: C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes' Night is associated with the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, where Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 6. Which document, signed in the 20th century, established the welfare state in the UK? A. The Magna Carta. B. The Beveridge Report. C. The Good Friday Agreement. D. The Charter of the Forest. Answer: B. The Beveridge Report. The Beveridge Report, published in 1942, outlined the foundation for the modern welfare state in the UK, leading to the establishment of comprehensive social insurance and public health services. Question 7. Name the operation associated with the evacuation of British and Allied troops from Dunkirk in 1940. A. Operation Sea Lion. B. Operation Overlord. C. Operation Dynamo. D. Operation Barbarossa. Answer: C. Operation Dynamo. Operation Dynamo was the code name for the evacuation of British and Allied troops from Dunkirk, France, in 1940 during World War II. Question 8. Who was the longest reigning British monarch before Queen Elizabeth II? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Mary II. D. King Henry VIII. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the longest reigning British monarch before Queen Elizabeth II, ruling for 63 years from 1837 to 1901. Question 9. What was the primary reason for the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Religious differences. B. A dispute over the succession. C. Conflict between the monarchy and Parliament. D. Economic crisis. Answer: C. Conflict between the monarchy and Parliament. The primary reason for the English Civil War was the conflict between the monarchy and Parliament over governance and authority, culminating in the execution of Charles I. Question 10. What was the main outcome of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. The establishment of parliamentary supremacy. B. The end of the Tudor dynasty. C. The abolition of the monarchy. D. The introduction of the Commonwealth. Answer: A. The establishment of parliamentary supremacy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 resulted in the establishment of parliamentary supremacy over the monarchy and the joint reign of William III and Mary II. Question 11. Name the king who issued the Royal Charter to the East India Company in 1600. A. King James I. B. King Charles I. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Henry VII. Answer: C. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I issued the Royal Charter to the East India Company in 1600, granting it the rights to trade in the East Indies. Question 12. What major social reform did the Factory Act of 1833 achieve? A. It abolished child labour. B. It limited working hours for children and provided for education. C. It granted workers the right to form unions. D. It established minimum wage laws. Answer: B. It limited working hours for children and provided for education. The Factory Act of 1833 was a major social reform that limited the working hours for children and made provisions for their education. Question 13. Which British explorer is credited with the discovery of Australia? A. James Cook. B. Francis Drake. C. Walter Raleigh. D. John Cabot. Answer: A. James Cook. Captain James Cook is credited with the discovery of the eastern coast of Australia in 1770, claiming it for Great Britain. Question 14. In what year did the Great Plague of London take place? A. 1563. B. 1665. C. 1756. D. 1848. Answer: B. 1665. The Great Plague of London took place in 1665, resulting in the deaths of an estimated 100,000 people, nearly a quarter of London's population at the time. Question 15. Which Act granted self-government to Canada, marking the beginning of the British Commonwealth? A. The Statute of Westminster. B. The Balfour Declaration. C. The British North America Act. D. The Canada Act. Answer: C. The British North America Act. The British North America Act of 1867 granted self-government to Canada, marking the beginning of the Federation of Provinces and the establishment of the Dominion of Canada within the British Empire. Question 16. Who were the main participants in the Treaty of Union in 1707? A. England and Scotland. B. England and Wales. C. Great Britain and Ireland. D. Scotland and Ireland. Answer: A. England and Scotland. The main participants in the Treaty of Union in 1707 were England and Scotland, which resulted in the creation of the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 17. What year was the Slave Trade Act that abolished the transatlantic slave trade passed? A. 1807. B. 1833. C. 1865, D. 1901. Answer A. 1807. The Slave Trade Act of 1807 abolished the transatlantic slave trade within the British Empire. Question 18. What is the historical significance of the Beveridge Report? A. It led to the creation of the United Nations. B. It established the foundation for the British welfare state. C. It resolved the Irish conflict. D. It reformed the British educational system. Answer B. It established the foundation for the British welfare state. The Beveridge Report of 1942 is historically significant for establishing the foundations of the modern British welfare state, including the creation of the National Health Service. Question 19. Who was the first woman to sit in the British Parliament? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Nancy Astor. C. Theresa May. D. Priti Patel. Answer B. Nancy Astor. Nancy Astor was the first woman to sit as a Member of Parliament, MP, in the British House of Commons, taking her seat in 1919. Question 20. During which war was the Battle of Trafalgar fought? A. The 7 Years' War. B. The Napoleonic Wars. C. The War of the Spanish Succession. D. World War I. Answer B. The Napoleonic Wars. The Battle of Trafalgar was fought in 1805 during the Napoleonic Wars, where Admiral Lord Nelson secured a decisive British victory against the combined fleets of France and Spain. Question 21. What was the purpose of the Magna Carta signed in 1215? A. To declare independence from France. B. To limit the powers of the monarchy and establish the rule of law. C. To expand the territories of the British Empire. D. To establish the Church of England. Answer B. To limit the powers of the monarchy and establish the rule of law. The Magna Carta was significant for its role in curbing the powers of the king and laying the foundation for future legal principles and the establishment of the rule of law. Question 22. Who is known for their rule during the British Golden Age of Piracy? A. Queen Anne. B. King George I. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Edward III. Answer A. Queen Anne. Queen Anne was the monarch during the Golden Age of Piracy, which is typically characterized by heightened pirate activity in the Caribbean, along the American coast, and in the Indian Ocean. Question 23. What pivotal role did Winston Churchill play during World War II? A. He served as the King of England. B. He was the Prime Minister who led Britain to victory. C. He was a general in the British Army. D. He served as a peace negotiator. Answer B. He was the Prime Minister who led Britain to victory. Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister during most of World War II and is credited with strong leadership and inspiring speeches that bolstered British morale during the war. Question 24. What event led to the widespread introduction of the feudal system in England? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The Norman Conquest of 1066. C. The establishment of the Church of England. D. The end of the Roman occupation. Answer B. The Norman Conquest of 1066. The Norman Conquest, led by William the Conqueror, resulted in the widespread introduction of the feudal system in England, restructuring English society and land ownership. Question 25. Which British scientist discovered the electron? A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. J. Thomson. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer: C. J. Thomson. In 1897, J. Thomson discovered the electron, a fundamental subatomic particle, which was a pivotal development in the field of atomic physics. Question 26. What was the impact of the Black Death on medieval England society and economy? A. It led to a decrease in military conflicts. B. It resulted in the growth of the population. C. It caused significant labor shortages and social upheaval. D. It promoted the growth of trade and commerce. Answer: C. It caused significant labor shortages and social upheaval. The Black Death, which struck England in the mid-14th century, led to massive population loss and resulted in labor shortages, changing the social and economic structure of the country. Question 27. Who composed the British patriotic song Rule Britannia? A. Edward Elgar. B. Gustav Holst. C. Thomas Arne. D. Ralph Vaughan Williams. Answer: C. Thomas Arne. Thomas Arne composed the music for Rule Britannia in 1740, and it has since become a symbol of British maritime power and national pride. Question 28. What was the main effect of the Railways Act 1921? A. It nationalised all British rail companies into one entity. B. It privatised the railway industry. C. It introduced high-speed rail service. D. It reduced the number of rail lines significantly. Answer: A. It nationalised all British rail companies into one entity. The Railways Act of 1921 grouped almost all the rail companies into the Big Four groups, which was a move towards nationalising the industry under government control. Question 29. Which British monarch officially abolished the Corn Laws? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George IV. C. King Edward VII. D. Queen Elizabeth II. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. During Queen Victoria's reign, the Corn Laws, which imposed restrictions and tariffs on imported grain, were repealed in 1846, promoting free trade and cheaper bread for the masses. Question 30. Who led the British forces during the Battle of Waterloo? A. Duke of Wellington. B. Horatio Nelson. C. Winston Churchill. D. Oliver Cromwell. Answer: A. Duke of Wellington. The Duke of Wellington led the British forces during the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, which resulted in the defeat of Napoleon and a pivotal moment in European history. Question 31. What is the primary law that outlines the succession to the British throne? A. The Royal Marriages Act. B. The Act of Settlements 1701. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Bill of Rights 1689. Answer: B. The Act of Settlements 1701. The Act of Settlements 1701 is the primary law that outlines the succession to the British throne, ensuring that only Protestant descendants of Princess Sophia, Electress of Hanover, are eligible to succeed. Question 32. Name the famous British ship that sank on its maiden voyage in 1912. A. HMS Beagle. B. HMS Victory. C. RMS Titanic. D. U.S. Constitution. Answer: C. RMS Titanic. The RMS Titanic is the famous British ship that tragically sank on its maiden voyage in 1912 after hitting an iceberg, resulting in significant loss of life. Question 33. Which legislation, passed in the late 20th century, devolved powers to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland? A. The Devolution Acts. B. The Good Friday Agreement. C. The Acts of Union. D. The Decentralization Decree. Answer A. The Devolution Acts. The Devolution Acts of the late 1990s granted Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland their own respective parliaments/assemblies, devolving powers from the UK Parliament in Westminster. Question 34. What major scientific discovery was made by Rosalind Franklin concerning DNA? A. The double helix structure. B. The genetic code. C. The chromosome theory of inheritance. D. The molecular basis of inheritance. Answer A. The double helix structure. Rosalind Franklin's X-ray diffraction images of DNA were critical in discovering the double helix structure of DNA, although much of the credit initially went to Watson and Crick. Question 35. What is the significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940 for the UK? A. It marked the beginning of British involvement in World War II. B. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. C. It led to the UK's defeat by Nazi Germany. D. It resulted in a large territorial loss for the UK. Answer B. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was significant as it marked a turning point during World War II, where the Royal Air Force defended the UK against large-scale attacks by Nazi Germany's air forces. Question 36. Who was responsible for the creation of the welfare state in the UK? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Clement Attlee. C. Winston Churchill. D. Tony Blair. Answer B. Clement Attlee. Prime Minister Clement Attlee, who served from 1945 to 1951, was responsible for the creation of the welfare state in the UK, including the establishment of the National Health Service. Question 37. What is considered the founding document of English liberties that predates the Magna Carta? A. The Domesday Book. B. The Charter of Liberties. C. The Bill of Rights. D. The Royal Charter. Answer B. The Charter of Liberties. Issued by Henry I in 1100, the Charter of Liberties is considered a precursor to the Magna Carta, promising the protection of church rights, protection for the barons from illegal imprisonment, access to swift justice, and limitations on payments to the Crown. Question 38. Name the British Prime Minister associated with the establishment of the National Health Service. A. Harold Wilson. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Clement Attlee. D. Edward Heath. Answer C. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the British Prime Minister who oversaw the establishment of the National Health Service in 1948, which aimed to provide health care free at the point of delivery. Question 39. Which treaty recognized the independence of the American colonies from British rule? A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. B. The Treaty of Versailles. C. The Treaty of Ghent. D. The Treaty of London. Answer A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 ended the American Revolutionary War and recognized the independence of the American colonies from British rule. Question 40. What economic crisis did the UK face in the 1970s leading to IMF intervention? A. The Great Depression. B. The dot-com bubble burst. C. The 1976 sterling crisis. D. The post-war recession. Answer C. The 1976 sterling crisis. The UK faced a severe economic crisis in 1976, known as the sterling crisis, leading to a bailout from the International Monetary Fund. IMF to stabilize the economy. Question 41. Who is the patron saint of England, and what is his legend? A. Saint Andrew and dragon slaying. B. Saint David and the hill. C. Saint George and dragon slaying. D. Saint Patrick and the snakes. Answer. C. Saint George and dragon slaying. Saint George, the one's the patron saint of England, known for his legend of slaying a dragon and saving a princess, a symbol of good triumphing over evil. Question 42. What major constitutional change occurred in the UK in 1999? A. The adoption of the euro. B. The signing of the Lisbon Treaty. C. The establishment of the Scottish Parliament. D. The creation of the Supreme Court. Answer. C. The establishment of the Scottish Parliament. In 1999, a major constitutional change was the establishment of the Scottish Parliament, providing Scotland with its own legislative body for the first time since the Union of 1707. Question 43. In which document is the principle of no taxation without representation associated with the American colonies? A. The English Bill of Rights. B. The Magna Carta. C. The American Declaration of Independence. D. The Stamp Act. Answer. C. The American Declaration of Independence. The principle of no taxation without representation is famously associated with the American Declaration of Independence, reflecting the colonists' grievances against British taxation without legislative representation. Question 44. Who was the first female Secretary of State for Education in the UK? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Betty Boothroyd. C. Harriet Harman. D. Estelle Morris. Answer. A. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was the first woman to hold the position of Secretary of State for Education in the UK, appointed in 1970 before later becoming Prime Minister. Question 45. What significant event did the suffragette movement lead to in 1918? A. Women's right to vote. B. The end of World War I. C. The establishment of the welfare state. D. The signing of the Treaty of Versailles. Answer. A. Women's right to vote. The suffragette movement was instrumental in leading to the Representation of the People Act 1918, which granted voting rights to women over the age of 30 who met certain property qualifications. Question 46. What discovery is Sir Alexander Fleming known for that changed medicine? A. The structure of DNA. B. Penicillin. C. Insulin. D. The polio vaccine. Answer. B. Penicillin. Sir Alexander Fleming is known for his discovery of penicillin in 1928, the first true antibiotic, which has saved countless lives by effectively treating bacterial infections. Question 47. Who was the British monarch during the abolition of the death penalty for murder in 1965? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. King George VI. C. Queen Victoria. D. King Edward VII. Answer. A. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was the monarch when the death penalty for murder was abolished in the UK in 1965, marking a significant change in British law and human rights. Question 48. What is the main purpose of the Commonwealth of Nations, and which country is its head? A. To promote economic trade, the United States. B. To ensure military alliances, France. C. To foster international cooperation and economic support, the United Kingdom. D. To provide educational exchanges, Canada. Answer: C. To foster international cooperation and economic support. The United Kingdom. The Commonwealth of Nations aims to foster international cooperation and economic support among its member countries, with the United Kingdom as its head. Question 49. Who was the leader of the Labour Party who became Prime Minister in the late 20th century and is known for his third-way political philosophy? A. Tony Blair. B. Gordon Brown. C. Jeremy Corbyn. D. John Major. Answer: A. Tony Blair. Tony Blair, leader of the Labour Party and Prime Minister from 1997 to 2007, is known for his third-way political philosophy, which sought a middle ground between traditional socialism and capitalism. Question 50. What event marked the first time a reigning monarch visited Australia? A. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. B. The visit of King George VI in 1939. C. The tour of Queen Victoria in 1851. D. The state visit of King Edward VII in 1901. Answer: B. The visit of King George VI in 1939. The first time a reigning monarch visited Australia was during the tour of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth I done 1939, marking a significant moment in the history of the Commonwealth. Question 51. Which law, passed in 1998, incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law? A. The Human Rights Act. B. The Civil Liberties Act. C. The Freedom of Information Act. D. The Equality Act. Answer: A. The Human Rights Act. The Human Rights Act 1998 incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into British law, significantly influencing the protection of human rights within the UK. Question 52. Name the first British astronaut to go into space. A. Tim Peake. B. Helen Sharman. C. Michael Foale. D. Richard Branson. Answer: B. Helen Sharman. Helen Sharman was the first British astronaut to go into space in 1991, participating in the Soyuz TN-12 mission to the Mir space station. Question 53. Which British city hosted the Summer Olympics in 2012? A. London. B. Manchester. C. Birmingham. D. Liverpool. Answer: A. London. London hosted the Summer Olympics in 2012, marking the third time the city had hosted the Games, the previous occasions being in 1908 and 1948. Question 54. What was the primary role of the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, established in 1922? A. To serve as a government propaganda tool. B. To provide comprehensive news coverage. C. To promote British culture and values through broadcasting. D. To regulate television and radio companies in the UK. Answer: C. To promote British culture and values through broadcasting. The BBC was established in 1922 with the primary role of promoting British culture and values through unbiased and comprehensive broadcasting services. Question 55. Which famous British battle in 1314, led by Robert the Bruce, was a significant victory in the First War of Scottish Independence? A. The Battle of Hastings. B. The Battle of Agincourt. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. D. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. Answer: C. The Battle of Bannockburn. The Battle of Bannockburn in 1314, led by Robert the Bruce, was a significant Scottish victory against England during the First War of Scottish Independence. Question 56. Who was the architect behind the construction of the Millennium Dome in London? A. Norman Foster. B. Richard Rogers. C. Zohar Hadid. D. Ian Pei. Answer: B. Richard Rogers. Sir Richard Rogers was the architect behind the construction of the Millennium Dome in London, now known as the O2, which was originally completed in 1999 to celebrate the new millennium. Question 57. What treaty formed the basis for the European Union, which the UK initially opposed but later joined? A. The Maastricht Treaty. B. The Treaty of Rome. C. The Lisbon Treaty. D. The Treaty of Versailles. Answer: B. The Treaty of Rome. The Treaty of Rome, signed in 1957, formed the basis for what would later become the European Union. The UK initially opposed this, but later joined the European Economic Community, a precursor to the EU, in 1973. Question 58. What was the major cause and outcome of the Jacobite Rising of 1745? A. To restore the House of Stuart to the British throne, ultimately unsuccessful. B. To demand independence for Scotland, led to legislative union. C. To oppose the Treaty of Union, resulted in increased autonomy for Scotland. D. To support the abolition of the monarchy, reinforced the monarchy. Answer: A. To restore the House of Stuart to the British throne, ultimately unsuccessful. The Jacobite Rising of 1745 was primarily aimed at restoring the House of Stuart to the British throne, but it was ultimately unsuccessful, culminating in the decisive Battle of Culloden. Question 59. Which act introduced by the UK government first allowed the prosecution of British citizens for war crimes committed during the Second World War? A. The War Crimes Act 1991. B. The Criminal Justice Act. C. The Geneva Conventions Act. D. The International Criminal Court Act. Answer: A. The War Crimes Act 1991. The War Crimes Act 1991 was introduced by the UK government to allow the prosecution of British citizens and residents for war crimes committed during the Second World War. Question 60. What is the Bill of Rights of 1689, and why is it important in British constitutional history? A. It affirmed the rights of Parliament over the monarchy. B. It established the foundation for the United Kingdom. C. It decreed the rights of all citizens to bear arms. D. It was the first written constitution of the UK. Answer: A. It affirmed the rights of Parliament over the monarchy. The Bill of Rights of 1689 is important in British constitutional history because it set limits on the powers of the monarch and affirmed the rights of Parliament, thereby laying the foundation for a constitutional monarchy.